Okay guys, so here I have a nice yummy recipe and it's called Arroz con Pollo. It's chicken and rice. So I got some boneless chicken thighs and I cut off most of the fat and then I just cut it into smaller pieces and then I just browned it in some light oil. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of onion to give it some flavor. So that sort of sautés the onion along with it. It smells so good. I wish they had smell-o-vision. You could smell how yummy this actually smells. I'll let the onion caramelize a little bit here with this. And you just kind of mix it up. And I always add some freshly chopped tomatoes, so I use my little trusty chopper. This just gives it a little bit more of a texture instead of just adding tomato sauce. You could simply add tomato sauce if you'd like, but I just add some of these nicely chopped up tomatoes in there. So now what I have over here on this side is I browned some rice. I just put a little bit of grease on there. And I actually just used some olive oil and I just sprayed it on there. So it just, I never like to put too much grease in my food so you don't taste a lot of oil. You taste the food, not oil. So I just sprayed this. I added my rice and with the burner on, probably medium, you're just constantly turning it until it turns a light brown like this. And this is just regular rice, regular white rice. You can use long grain, short grain, whichever you prefer. Once it's brown, you're going to go ahead and add it into the chicken. And it's not cooked, it's just browned, so keep that in mind. And then I'm just going to mix it in. Now, after you add your rice, you're going to be adding some water. Now, you can use some chicken bouillon to add with your water. Then you add your spices. So you always add your spices after you add your water. And I'm using my Knorr and it's a tomato bouillon chicken flavor. You could also use the one with the green lid. This one has a red lid, but I don't have the green lid right now, and that's just basically plain chicken bouillon, but this one is just as good. So I'm adding probably like 2 good tablespoons of that, and I'm just going to mix it. So this is going to have salt in it, so you don't really have to add too much salt, but whenever I cook, I always taste it as I'm going. My chicken is pretty much cooked, so I'm not going to be afraid to taste it after a while. I'm going to be going to add, the rice is going to be cooking as you begin to simmer this. So once it starts to boil, then you cover it, you simmer it. The rice is going to cook and it's all going to incorporate together. So the rice will thicken up this sauce as well. Okay, so I'm going to add some ground up comino. Okay, so I'm just going to add probably just a couple of pinches, and this is one of my favorite seasonings. And you could always use some powdered comino if you'd like. So once I added the comino, that's going to give it a really, really yummy flavor. And comino is the same thing as cumin. So you could already see it's already taken its color. You can see some of the tomato, and the rice is going to thicken up as it's cooking. So I'm not going to mix it up too much, because if you keep mixing it, your rice is going to turn into mush. So I'm just barely going to grab a little bit. Wow, it already tastes amazing. So the seasoning's there, the flavor's there. Now I'm just going to let it boil a little bit, and then just leave the lid on, put a lid on it, and just let it simmer. And all we're going to be doing now is just waiting on the rice to cook. So even though it tastes good, I kind of feel like it needs a little bit of garlic. So I'm just gonna add just a little bit of garlic right there. I usually add my minced garlic, so it's just little chunks of garlic and I just throw them in there. I'm out of that right now, so I'm using my granulated garlic. I'm just very lightly mixing it up. And we're gonna wait for a boil, then we're gonna let it simmer. If you're wondering what a little jingling noise is anytime I'm cooking, that's this little guy right here. His name is Buddy. He's actually my little buddy, and he just loves me and he keeps following me. And he's always by my feet, so I have to be very careful and set his bed near the kitchen area, because otherwise he'll just lay right at my feet wherever I am. Say hi, Buddy. Okay, so right now I have it simmering. And you can see how the rice is beginning to thicken. So that's why you don't want to add too much rice. So I have it simmering, and I'll just go over what I used for my recipe. So I just used some boneless chicken thighs. I cut off most of the fat that comes on there. I used 2 cups of white rice, and that's what I use to with the grease. You put on a separate pan, and then you just lightly brown it, so you're mixing it as it's browning. Okay everyone, so here is the completed meal. So it's your arroz con pollo, which is your chicken with rice. Then I just made some refried beans, and I can show you how to do those later on another video. And then a yummy tortilla, that's a flour tortilla. Now, usually I can make these homemade, but I was trying to make a quick lunch today. So I'm gonna give you a little tip, and I use these tortillas right here. And you can get these at your local grocery. I know if you're in Texas, H-E-B has them, but if not, Walmart also has them. They're super yummy. They're ready for you to throw them on a skillet or a griddle, and then you just brown them until they look like this. And they're good to go, and they taste really good. Homemade, of course, is always the best, but these are very, very close to being homemade, so quick and easy. I hope you guys like this recipe. If you can, please take a moment and subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up, and I'll be talking to you guys real soon. Bye.